welcome everyone. I have a desire to share some lecture. I found a very nice book some time ago, but now I had the desire to share it because I have been reading it with some little bit of interest, and now, well, I heard a very good edition, and I would like to share about this topic: fraternal devotion, something we call sakhya-rasa, or the relationship or friendship in devotion. And thanks everyone coming. I will also upload the video afterwards, depending if it's good or so. So I would like to start it. It's about the relationship with Krishna. This is the most sweet person, and some would like to call it God, some would like to call it son, or in this aspect is the friendship, that friendly devotion or fraternal devotion, Saka Bhav, or those in the pastime of his relationship of his friends. Let's say they are the coward boys, and there are magnificent leelas. They're also coming in these different Krishna incarnations in different forms, but all in the moods of sakas. But there are also more specialties, because some of them already sakas appeared in the latest Gauranga Lila, the 500 years ago. And they are also tasting a different new mood that is a special gift. So there is something that what we know in the world of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas is that the extreme sweetness is made available. This is the Madhurya Ras. But that is not the form of the let's say coward boys. It's the form of the little girls. So anyway, let's start. This is the preface. Welcome everyone. I have to read in English. So it's saying the preface of this book is called, the book already, let's see, Priya Bhakti Rasarnav. It's famous book. People know it long ago, but it's been translated. So I will read a little bit. Maybe the sound is okay. All right. So it goes like this. The preface of the Coward Boys Nectar. Many devotees might see this book and exclaim, "Wow, the Coward Boys." They may be advised, however, that this volume introduces an intimate portrayal of transcendental life in Goloka, Vrindavan. As a sacred and esoteric topic, it could not be broadcasted very openly, but honored by quiet personal study and appreciation. The technical science of sakhya-rasa and confidential practice of sakhya-rasa bhajan here are presented only as a research and study project. This information is not the last word in regard to the exalted fraternal mellow, but it's merely another part of the puzzle to be added to the ever-growing spiritual understanding of the Gaudiya Vaishnava. Also, some devotees may say, "I have never heard of this book or its author." As you will see in the introductory essay, all these things have been exhaustively researched and clearly explained with full support from the revealed scripture. Indeed, although it is a very rare and obscure composition, This book fills an important gap in the presently available Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. Well, this is at that time. Most of the six Goswamis and their successors have written almost exclusively on the Madhura Ras. A few modern devotees give certain interpretation to this fact. However, those sadhakas who are actually inclined toward the devotional feeling of the other rasas have not found much for their bhajan. And this is what I find very interesting also. We noted this lack and have endeavored to supply it by providing this brief glimpse into the amazing world of Sri Krishna Balaram and the ecstatic cowherd boys. Within the text and at hand, chapter 1, we find the following statement, including a quote from Srila Rupa Goswami Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that verify the lofty status of the Raganuga Bhakti sadhan and especially the sadhan of the sakhya-rasa. The tasting and relishing of the mellow of the cowherd boys. Sakhya-rasa-asvadana is very difficult to attain, but it's so so essential also, and it's so very difficult to attain. Indeed, the scriptures state that not only it is difficult, but it is very rarely attained. It's very rarely attained. Dushkaratvena virale de sakhyatmani vedane kesanchire vadiranang lavate sadhanartatam. Regarding two items of sadhana from the listing of 64, the 48 is Sakya and the 49 Atma Nivedana, right? Srila Rupa Goswami declared devotional service in fraternal love and devotion service in total self-surrender are two processes that are very rarely seen due to the difficulty involved in their realization. Indeed, these are attained only by a few sober and exalted souls who have earned the right to act on such level of sadhana. Therefore, as a matter of issuing a healthy and cautious warning, the translator urges mature readers never to attempt any of the devotional worship procedure outlined herein without first receiving the merciful blessing and learned guidance of the sadhus, the sastras, and especially Sri Guru. It means when I hear that discussion that you are in one Staibab or other or something, but it's giving. If it's given, there's no question of arguing so much. If someone is just this or that, let's say in their own identities. Perhaps the safest position of all would be to first examine these topics in order to gain an increased understanding, and then remain bowing repeatedly at reverential distance. Yes, Haribo. Alright, so there is a section thankfulness, very beautiful, written also by, I would say his name is here, Dasarat Sutadas. Yes, they do very nice publishing. The reason behind this presentation, we felt it was time to elucidate the lives of the cowherd boys. Yes, to elucidate the life of the cowherd boys. Those lovable fun-filled pranksters who first conjured up our loving sentiments ever since, this is from Ishkan devotees from that time of the cowherd boys, those lovable fun-filled pranksters who first conjured up our loving sentiments ever since our early days in Krishna consciousness. We hear them, their lila, and it's just, they trap their heart. Oh, such a relation, so sweet with Krishna. How often all of us have revealed over their moods while reading Krishna book aloud during hot milk prasaram at night. This used to happen there in ISKCON before sleeping, because Bhaktivedanta Swami was saying this one time, before sleeping it's good to read Krishna book so you go dreaming about it even. And it so happened, this is happened to Ayendra Prabhu also. He had such a dream. He explains about his dream with the sakas. My gosh. Here in the 1990s, right, that was then. Now that many devotees are translating more and more shastras by the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga, there have been certain feelings coming to the surface within the Vaishnava community. Many devotees have been somewhat uncomfortable with new translations. Yes, the consideration. All right. Yeah, with new translations of things relating to Krishna's intimate pastimes with the gopis, and thus there are discussions about the dangers of becoming practical sahajiyas, etc., by having too much interest in topics for which we are not qualified. Mm, interest in topics for which we are not qualified. This is just an underlined aside. Certain senior devotees are also studying the theme of Gopi Bhav in a detailed way, and therefore we neophytes are wondering if we will ever realize that we are not these bodies. What to speak of understanding Radha and Krishna's eternal pastimes? Curiously enough, this being the case, the editors knew that all these thoughts were causing the worldwide collective consciousness of Siddhanta meditations, in conclusions, if you will, to tilt our balance too much towards the Manjari Bhav or Madhurya Rasa and so forth. Since the scholarly type of devotees really believe that they should be putting so much stress on the highest goals of existence, with service to the conjugal mellow supposedly being the only goal prescribed for those who are followers of Srila Rupa Goswami, then a large class of devotees are feeling either left out or they become exasperated and having no hope of ever coming to the standard of Madhurya Rasa Bhajan. Well, the thing is that is the topmost gift, right? In all the rasas, the Mahaprabhu is giving is Madhurya Rasa, found in the Manjari Bhav Upasana. But then this book is saying that, yeah, well, that is the conclusion, but there are other moods. At the same time, because Mahaprabhu explaining that in the four rasas, there is fifth one, Santa, Sakya, Dasya, right? Vatsalya and Madhurya. So the fifth one, by the Goswamis, we can understand Madhurya is topmost, is the goal. Yes, of course. This also is said. I just been confirmed. Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, everyone says so. But then the interesting thing about the book is that it's also mentioning that the other rasas, the upasanas, the other people who is practicing the other rasas, or that are attracted in any way or qualified to or would like to develop, then of course it's not that it's the best, the topmost gift of Mahaprabhu, but it's there, it's present, it's just it's like an option or whatever. But yeah, therefore, he said, we deem it appropriate at this time to present something about the simple-hearted, innocent, yet intimate dealings of Lord Krishna and Balaram with their lovable, coward boyfriends. That's it. It is a fact that many, if not most of the souls attracted to the worldwide Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are naturally disposed towards playful Krishna and the coward boys as opposed to the confidential amorous attractions between Krishna and the gopis. Therefore, we need to put some emphasis on the more accessible and honest topics of transcendence and relinquish immature efforts to prop everyone up on an artificial level of devotion, right? Which is not only inappropriate for the soul natural inclination but an offense unto the Lord and his friends. There are a myriad of different types of souls swimming in the ocean of the universe, and they cannot be artificially lumped into any one category, nor stuffed together into a box with the supposed label of one particular rasa or human. But we should really do emphasis on the topmost. That's the main, topmost, the supreme gift of Mahaprabhu for this time. We should do that emphasis. It should be very clear. And then otherwise we cannot um, even what to speak of trying to understand another rasas. Anyway, to have the topmost gift doesn't mean that mm, you should misunderstand everything else just to get that. That's also another thing that's happening. Let's say just generally, not to blame anyone or anything, but and around the Vaishnav, Gaudiya Vaishnav um, associates or some devotees, these are things that are to be considered. The spiritual master has come into the dark well of this material world and brought an infinitely bright light to direct our path back home, back to Godhead. And his methods do not call for any type of blind lumping or generalization. Everyone is an individual dear to Krishna, and with maturity they must eventually decide for themselves where and how they will fit into the greater scheme of things in Goloka. But one thing is right, that the instruments, they should be properly presented. No, it cannot be just like shortcuts or whatever. Um, Thus, we have offered this small book on the sakhya-rasa in order to give more options for truly inquisitive souls, so they may see if these sublime aspects of the coward voice strike a resonant chord in their hearts. If anyone attain further mercy from Sri Guru as a result of pursuing this translation, then we will feel readily relieved that this endeavor was not in vain. Haribol, Krishna Balaram ki jai. That's sweet, huh? So the introduction goes like this. I've seen some people coming in, coming out. You're all welcome. You're free to comment or anything. After I finish, I take this video from here, so no problem. Anyway, the introduction goes: the worship of the coward voice. The process of worshipping Lords Krishna and Balaram and their coward boyfriends is described very scientifically by the Vaishnavacharya in their writings. Many of the quotes appear in the next essay as a part of this introductory matter. The basic principle to be revealed is one attain the darshan and seva of Sri Radha Govinda, and engaging in Radha Govinda Lila Smaran while contemplating one's Lila Swarup as given in the disciplic succession by Sri Guru. Sripat Rupa Goswami, who has revealed the path of this type of bhajan, and also the disciplic successors following him, have composed many books on the topic of Astakaliya Smaran that assist in the bhajan, following in the footsteps of the Vrajavasi. These descendants have elaborated on additional detail related to the part of this type of sadhana. Sripad Rupa Goswami composed a small work of 11 verses called the Kadasha Shloka and gave it to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami for expansion. This is related in Bhakti Ratnakar. Vaishnava Ichaya Kadasha Shloka Kailo Krishnadasa Kaviraja Vistarile Dilo Astakala Lila Tate Ati Rasayana Bhagyavanta Jana Se Sakhya-rasa. According to the wish of the devotees, Srila Rupa Goswami composed 11 sloka about Radha and Krishna pastimes. Later, he gave the verses to Krishnadas Kaviraj to expand. The description of eightfold Leela contained therein are very nectarian, and they are relished by the fortunate souls. Consequently, Krishnadas Kaviraj has portrayed the Lord in indescribable pastimes in an expansive way by composing the 2500 verse epic Govinda Lilamrita. After this, many other books were written that are also very useful for the Astakaliya Leela Smaran, such as Kavikarnapura, Krishna Kanika, Komudi, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Krishna Vanamrita, Sankalpa Kalpadruma, Gopal Guru Padati, Gaur Govinda Archan Smaran, and the Dhyana Chandra Goswami Gaura Govinda Archan Smaran, so forth, so on. I could try to do it in Spanish, but it must be just a commentary. Tengo que hacer un comentario acerca porque de hecho es muy interesante. Anyway, okay, Jimena. So most of these voluminous literatures are helpful only to the sadhaka that are taking shelter of the conjugal mellow, the madhurya rasa saraye. There are, however, very few literatures suitable for the remembrance of the sadhaka taking shelter of the fraternal mellow. Therefore, Sri Nayananda Thakur has provided a great benefit for the sadhak who are attracted to the fraternal mellow by composing this book named Prayobhakti. Now, we had thought at first that it was not possible to publish the entire book at this time. The only copy of the original text found in India contained just the 6 through 10 chapters. This portion specifically delineates Sakhya Baba Ashtakaliya Leela Smarana. Sakhya Baba Ashtakaliya Leela Smarana. But somehow, by the merciful wishes of the devotees, a complete text was located. I finally completed the entire work. Okay. So, our labor in this regard will be worthwhile if it proves helpful for the Lila Smaran and the appreciation of fraternal mellow by the sadhaka who are sakhya-rasa rai. May the good-hearted reader forgive our all-pervading mistake and be satisfied by tasting even a drop of the Braja Lila Ras of Braja Rajanandan Sri Krishna. Let's now read the essence of this, the summary. This book is fully in concordance with Srila Rupa Goswami's Sri Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, but with the specific picture of delineating the science of devotion as executed in the sakhya-rasa from the perspective of fraternal friendship with Krishna, from the perspective of friendship of Krishna, this upasana, this practice of Sakya Bhav is there available, this book. Oh, so it's like the other Astakaliya for Radha Krishna Smaran. This is the Astakaliya for, let's say, Krishna Balarama Smaran. Because it's also mentioned that Krishna Balaram is the Yugal Kishore. So upon the first through 4 chapters outline the philosophy of bhakti, right, according to Rupa, giving profuse quotations from his book Bhakti Rasamrita. Additionally, the sections describe the different type of sakhas, their individual features, mode, dress, service. These are like also, like you say, Ekadash Bhav, the Ekadash Bhav in the Sakha mood. Yeah, this is Udipan, Vyasa, Bhushana, Satikavya Vicharistayi, and so forth. Ayoga, Yoga. Very beautiful. The 5th and 6th chapter give list of Sudama's 8 principal boyfriends plus each of their 8 friends, thus totaling 64 upasakas. 64 upasakas. Description of Sudama's residence, description of Risabhanupur, Bhashana, Nandishwar. The 7th through 10th chapter give narration of the daily sports and personal seva of the court boys through all the periods of the day and night, known as Prata, Purva, Madhyana, Parana, Sayam, Ratri. 60 dandas of the day. You will know that the daily schedule of Lord Krishna and the court boys in this work is divided into units of measurement called danda. 24 minutes each. 30 of these make up the day, beginning from about sunrise, 6 o'clock about, and 30 the night, beginning from about sunset. So it's 60 dandas in the daily schedule following Krishna and the gopis. In the Madhura Rasa, all 60 dandas of the day and night are utilized for non-stop service to the divine couple. Practically no one, the Lord, his consort, nor any of the maid servants get much rest at all. Superactive Leela. Just a few little naps here and there. The balance of time is spent in continuous and robust Leelas. However, a day in the life of the court boys in the sakhya-rasa is quite different. It is quite different. This is so interesting in that they also sport throughout the 30 dandas of the daytime, but only up to the 10th danda of the night, about 9:30 to 10 p.m. This makes for a fun-filled daily routine of only 40 dandas. Okay, so there is 20 dandas the gopas are sleeping. Thus, the cowherd boys actually do take rest, but they dream all the while of playing with Krishna and Balaram out in the pasture. So they go to sleep and they dream with Leela. See chart of the dandas in the appendix. Okay. Different names of Krishna and Balaram. Throughout the text of Prayubhakti Rasarnava, we find many different names of Krishna, Balaram, and their friends. Since they're okay, this is they are saying that they are keeping their names intact, which are important. Kanai, Kanu, Krishna Chandra, Gokula Chandra, Shyama Chandra, Gopakana, Kanta, Natabara, Raya, Yadava, Raya, Guna, Nidhi, Nandasuta, Nandanandan, Nandalal, Nandalal, Bhagavan, Sri Ram, Ram, Haladar, Balabhadra, Rohini Nandan, Rohini Kumar, Yugala Kishore. Together, Krishna and Balaram are referred to several times as Yugal Kishore. How interesting it is that it is the holy name that is the Yuga Dharma Sankirtan Harinam Sankirtan based on the holy name. This is the main focus and actually the structure of the whole Kali Yuga is based on the holy names. Yashomati, Yasodharani, Nandarani, Rani, simply Ma. This is alright. Let's see the process of worshiping the sakhya-rasa, and I'll keep it there because there's no many people online is coming and go, like everyone's checking their phone, whatever. But it would be nice to discuss. Sri Thakur Nayanananda in this book charmingly described the mellow sweetness of the Vrajalila of Sri Krishna, who is Raja Rajanandan Murali Manohar, the delightful son of the king of Raja, and the enchanting flute player. Other following in the footsteps of the Rajavasis in the transcendently covetous mood of Ragatmika Bhakti, there is no way to attain Navakishore Natavara Sri Krishna. Right? Saying that's the only way. The process is clearly outlined in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 22 chapter, verse 152 to 166. To understand something of transcendental mellow, one should study this section very carefully and take particular note of the Bengali words of the verses and their word-for-word equivalents. This passage stresses the difference between internal and the external worship, a theme that recurs throughout the narration of Prayubhakti Rasarnava. The keynotes of this Siddhanta are found in the above-mentioned Chaitanya Charitamrita verses 156-157 thus. Bahya Antara Iharaduito Sadhana Baye Sadaka Dehe Kore Sravana Kirtana Mane Nija Siddha Deha Koriya Bhavana Ratri Dine Kore Vraje Krishnera Sevana. There are two methods by which one executes the process of Raganuga Bhakti, external and internal. Externally, in the body of a practitioner, sadhaka deha, the devotee remaining engaged in hearing and chanting the Lord glories. Internally, within the mind, the devotee contemplate the perfect spiritual body, sila deha, and render service unto the Lord Krishna in Braja throughout the entire night and day. So he is showing us how it works for the Madhurya, showing us how it works for the Madhurya Lila, for the Madhurya Ras. What's the Upasana? This is showing us before he's explaining that there is also for Sakya. Do you understand this, Pranabala? Dada. This is amazing. In the next verse, 158, Charitamrita, this process of living simultaneously in two different worlds is also stated very clearly by the Sanskrit verse quoted from Rupa Goswami Bhakti-rasa Amrita Sindhu. Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi tatpava lipsuna karyavrajalukarusarataha. Service should be rendered by following in the footsteps of the Rasayan of Raj, being desirous of attaining their same mood. Such service is executed in two distinct ways at the same time, in the external form of a sadhaka, practitioner, and the internal form of a siddha, the perfect being. This verse from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is also quoted by Srila. Okay, this is the consideration that we said about the all rasas. Very significant passage. Dispelling somehow, there is a myth widespread that all followers of the Rupa Goswami must eventually enter only the highest mellow, namely the Madhura Rasa. Yes. From the factual conclusion of the previous acharyas, we see that one can aspire to be practically anything in Krishna Loka. Transcendental realm is totally unlimited, and so there are absolutely unlimited ways in which we can participate in the Lord's service therein. Yes, this is the consideration of what we were saying here in different points of view, of course, but like I said before, if Mahaprabhu has done anything to give the best mood, why would you go for another thing? You first get that. If you understand what is that, then we can delve into the other things, which are different rasas, because he's saying here, we see that one can aspire to be practically anything, right? In the raga bhakti, aspire to be means to take shelter of that mood or such a mood. Let's say, what is saying like Santaras or any other moods, to see who is in that mood, take shelter of that eternal associate of the Lord. Then you have this Ragatmika Bhakta, then you develop this bhakti there, Ragatmika Bhakti, and then that will give you the fruit of your Raganuga Vachana, right? This is what we are saying and what is said by the Acharya, but then he's saying here the transcendental realm is totally unlimited. And so there are absolutely unlimited ways in which we can participate in the Lord's service herein. On the pure spiritual platform, there is no higher or lower. All beings share transcendental equality in serving the Lord at the best, to the best, very best of their capacity and taste. Taste. Furthermore, the mood of those who approach Lord Krishna in these different kinds of Braja relationships are clearly described by Sri Krishna himself. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 4th chapter, 21-22 and 24-26. Mora putra, mora sakka, mora pranapati, e bave jai, more kore sudavakti. Appanake bodho mane amare samahina, se bave hoi yami tahara adina. Those that cherish pure loving devotion unto me, believing Krishna is my helpless son, or Krishna is my best friend, or Krishna is my beloved paramour, when they regard themselves as great and think me to be their equal or inferior, then according to that mood of theirs, I willingly become subordinate to them, meaning the mood in which is offered the love to Krishna, he will reciprocate. That's what he's saying. Also, Mata More Putra Bhave Korena Bandhana Atihi na Jane Kore Lalana Palana Sakka Shuda Sakki Kore Skande Arohana Tumi Kon Bodo Loka Tumi Ami Sama Priya Yadi Mana Kori Koroye Bartsana Veda Stuti Hoite Hare Sei Muramana. Mother Yasoda fully consider me to be her young son. Hey Indrajit, and therefore feel free to bind me when I am naughty, regarding me to be utterly helpless. She endeavored to nourish me with food and protect me from harm. Now my coward boyfriends climb upon my shoulder out of pure friendship, and they address me boldly. You think you're so big, you and I are equal. When my beloved consort get into pouting, huff and chastises me, then those words steal away my mind far more than the recitation of the reverent Vedic hymns. Thus, the special characteristic feature of the Vrajavasi Bhav is the expression of these various kinds of exalted loving moods toward their beloved Krishna. Exalted is not like ordinary, is is even not even looking face to face. It's like saying, "Come on, I'm here and I'm giving you my heart," you know, in a sheer way, exalted that in that sense, um, with love in that mood toward him, the object of love. There is one single path for attaining the most rarely attained service to Sri Sri Radha Krishna, who are the most worshipful treasure of the Vraja Gopas and Gopis, and that is sadhana bhajan. Sadhana bhajan, performed under the Satguru direction, that follow in the footsteps of the follower of the Vraja Gopa and Gopis. These topics are discussed by Narottam Das Thakur in the Prema Bhakti Chandrika, section 5. It's amazing. Yugala Charana Sevi Nidantara E Bhavi Anuragita Ki Bo Sadai Sadane Bhavi Bojaha Sidapadehe Paputaha Raga Pater Eije Upaya. Serving the feet of the divine couple and incessantly meditating upon this service, I will always remain as their affectionate follower. That upon which I meditate while I performing my regulated sadhana practice, I will attain the same within my spiritual body, the Siddha Deha. This is the method for executing the path of spontaneous devotion, the Ragapata. Sadhana je dana chai, Siddha Dehita harpai, paka paka matra se vichar. Pakile se prema bhakti, apake sadhana gati, bhakati lakshana tattva sar. That treasure, that treasure I cherish while executing my sadhana, I will obtain in my spiritual body. The thing to be considered is whether the fruit of devotion are ripe or unripe. The rippled fruit are tasted in the form of prem bhakti, the devotional service performed in loving ecstasy, while the the unripe condition represent the external process of sadhana bhakti. Unripe is this external process, right? Devotional service performed by regulated activities. These are the symptoms of devotion, which is the essence of all truths. Then, okay, the book is showing the story about the Sakya Bhav in the village of Mangalanidhi, the West Bengal, how it came to happen there, that the Sakya Bhav in the Gaur Leela took shelter of. And of course, they are the Sakas who descend also to play with the Krishna Leela. You know? So it's very important. That is very important that to see how it manifested in that time, and it's been there present. This village is the village where sakhya-rasa grew and developed with the associates of Nityananda. Nityananda Prabhu's associates, the Gopas. It's interesting because they also wanted to experience the Madhura Ras, so they have also another swarups by mercy of their spiritual masters. However, it's very, very beautiful that in this book we find the whole day of the Ashta Kaliya of the Gopas. The Gopis, we know, they are in the let's say the book is called Govinda Lilamrita. They are mentioned as Yutesvaris, the Yutesvaris. So, and here the Yutesvaras are the Gopas. So it's just very, very sweet because it's Nitai Gaur, is Krishna Balaram, actually. There is this verses, Vande Sri Sundaranandam Saviramam Kshipadam Tatta Sri Parni Gopalam Saganam Sundara Priyam. Glorify Sri Sundarananda, who along with Abhiram is the object of the Lord mercy. Then I glorify Sri Parni Gopal and his associates, who are all dear disciples of Sundarananda. Sundarananda and Abhiram Thakur are the first Gopals, Sudama, Sridama. Like that, all the Gopas are the devotees of Nitai and Gaur, very beautifully expressed. So there is one, I remember this consideration, maybe I touched before in the commentary, that there was a thing that is not clear who A.C. Swami, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami was. I once asked this to a Swami and he said he doesn't know. He was honest to say, I don't know, don't ask me these things. That is more nicely than such a argument that is spread on internet these days, or you see different Swamis explaining their points of view and what they choose to see it as. But as it is something given by Guru, then some others are also claiming that they can get these things without the Guru also, their serious verbs by the holy name. But it's not that easy. It's like you should really be like a Haridas Thakur to chant all day up and everything for who knows how long, so that you can have realization of such things. So that's why the Guru's mercy is there in the parampara. Sadguru, the parampara can do, as is the personification of Krishna's complete compassion and mercy on the conditioned soul who needs spiritual identity, right? Or the, let's say, established permanent form, so that can follow with the lila about the relationship to Krishna. Otherwise, it's just like we are here, Krishna is very far there, and it's very hard to relate to or something. It's just assisting the mercy and the karuna that's broken in this Kali Yuga from their limits is flowing so much, so it's for our impotent condition to be absolutely relief and reason, like right, taken from the depths up to the most amazing reality. There are other topics here, but I think that would be, I would like to share also, maybe, I'm checking because it's very interesting. There are some sections. You say here, all Brajavasis desire Sakya Prema. You should see that these residents of Raja, whether man, woman, or anyone else living in the area, all desire to attain the mood of Sakya or personal friendship with Krishna. The natural feature of Sakya Prema is offered to Krishna without any judgment, and also without any personal desire. Thus, all the multitude of Brajavasis aspire for the blessing of the mood of Sakya. For this reason, Srila Vyasadeva has described that the Brajavasis are most fortunate. What can I possibly say about the glories of the residents of Braja? Truly, Vyasadeva has proclaimed their excellence. So I say, Aho Bhagya, Aho Bhagya. How glorious are the Brajavasis. He who is Purna Brahma Bhagavan, the fullest embodiment of spiritual existence, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fully controlled by their love. Aho Bhagyam, Nanda Gopa Vraja Ukasham. Jan mitrang paramanandam purnang brahma sanatana. Lord Brahma prays, how greatly fortunate are Nanda Maharaj, the godman, and all the inhabitants of Raj. There is no limit to the good fortune, because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental bliss, the eternal supreme Brahman, has become their personal friend. 10 chapter 14, chapter, no, 10 canto, 14 chapter, 32 shloka. During the time of sporting the rasa dance, the gopis also uttered statements glorifying the position of sakhya, friendship, exclaiming, "O Krishna, you are our Sakha, Vikanasarto, Vikanasarto, Vishwaguptaye, Sakha Ude, Yivan, Satyavat Kule," because Lord Brahma prayed for you to come and protect the universe. O friend, you have now appeared in the Satvata dynasty. Furthermore, the ultimate statement of Srimati Radharani herself is recorded in the 10th canto. When Krishna had first vanished from the company of the gopis and then from her, she said, "Ha Nata, ha Ramana, O Kanta, where have you gone? Please show yourself. O Pranasaka, I am your loyal maidservant. Hanata Ramana Preshta Kwasi Kwasi Mahabuja Dasyaste Kripanaya Me Sake Darshana Sanidim. O Master, O Lover, O dear Moose, where are you? Where are you? O mighty armed one, please, dearest friend, show yourself to me. Your wretched maidservant. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30-39. Okay, I think that's it. Let's check what's gonna be of this first reading, and yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It was the little introduction to Sakhya of the sakhya-rasa, fraternal mood with Krishna, which has also a very special upasana.